Good day everyone, my name is Senzelo Shankabini and welcome to my YouTube channel. On this channel I'll give you insight on what it's like to be homeless, surviving the streets, and also how to rehabilitate oneself once you have left the streets. So for today I'll be doing a part 2 to the question, not to the question but to a video I made regarding being hated for knowing how to read. Now this is a part 2. In the first video, I was hated by homeless people for knowing how to read. And in this video, I won't say I was hated, maybe I was regarded as peculiar or weird for reading. Here's the backstory. So, as everyone knows, I was once homeless. If you want to know all about that, go to my previous videos. And since I was homeless, or when I was homeless, I used to get books that were left on the side of the road that people did not need anymore. So if you were a reader, you would just pick up the books and then you'd be the new owner. So what I would do was I'd take the books and put them in my backpack, and then I'd walk to a park or a secluded area and then just read. Now the park that I was sitting in when this occurred was near a high school. Should I name the high school? But the high school is near Sanko's Casino. So people who live in Durban will definitely know this school. It starts with a G, George, but I won't continue. But it's George something something. Anyway, I was sitting down, reading, and then I overhear one of the boys, because it was like 5 or 6 boys, and they were sitting waiting to play soccer right after school, whilst still wearing their uniforms. And then I hear one of the boys saying, that one is a gay homeless person. And then the other boys are like, Haibo, how do you know? And he says, and this is the answer, listen carefully, and he says, because he's reading. And I have never been so shocked in my entire life that basically only gay people read. And this shocked me because when I was growing up, I used to visit my aunt's house, and she was married. So whenever her husband would come back home with a newspaper, he'd read it first and then hand it over to me, because he would notice that I loved to read just like him. And I think that's where I picked up this habit of reading. And so he would hand it to me, a whole newspaper. I think I was still in primary school at the time. He would hand me this whole newspaper, which was written in English. Then I'd just read the whole newspaper. And then after I was done, I would place it in the kitchen. You know, in the kitchen you have that whole cupboard that's just for newspapers. Yes, I would just place it there. So that's when I picked up this habit of reading, when I was still in primary school. And this straight man, which was my uncle who was married to my aunt, was also a reader as well. So that's what shocked me about this young man's statement, that this individual that's homeless and that's sitting at the park is gay for reading. Because with that statement, that means that only gay men read. Straight men are just damn. And it's a dangerous statement, because if we have a young boy walking around thinking that picking up a book is gay, how is he going to transition in life? Or how is he going to go through this journey called life? Because eventually he's going to have to go to the bank and open a bank account. in order for you to open a bank account, you're going to be given a contract. You're going to be given documents that you're going to have to read before signing. And it also led me to think that the main reason why we have so many young male South African musicians that are always screwed over by their recording companies is because they never took the time to read their contracts. Because if you are not going to take the time to even read this is only like what, 100 pages. This is a book filled with short stories. Each short story is 5 pages long. If you are not going to take the time to read this, you are definitely not going to take the time to read a whole contract that's 10 pages long with the smallest font ever. And that is how our young male musicians in South Africa are always screwed over by their recording companies. Because if you are not going to read the contract as a young male artist, you are not going to think to take this contract and give it to a lawyer so that he or she can explain the law jargon, the language that's used within law. And it was also a dangerous statement because this young man is also going to procreate. He's also going to have a child of his own or children of his own. What is he going to teach his children? Especially since we live in a world whereby everything is going to be hidden for you within documents. Because if I know that a young straight male musician does not like reading, I am going to make sure that there are more pages within his contract. Because I know he does not like reading. And intentionally push him to sign this contract. And then even also tell him that you don't need to read that. That's just the basics. You don't need to read that. Just sign so that we can push this album. Just sign so that we can start recording. And that's dangerous because you can't go around just signing anything and everything. You have to always make sure that you read what you are about to sign or what you are encouraged to sign. And if we have young men that are looking at reading as just something that gay people do, that's dangerous. That's dangerous for society, and that's also dangerous for our future as well, because this person is going to procreate. But anyway, I'd like to hear what you have to say in the comment section. Please do like, share, and subscribe. And most importantly, please do comment in the comment section. Yeah, I'll see you in my next upload.